Hello everyone, I hope you guys are doing great and I hope you have already watched the first part of the conversation with Johnny Time, and this video is a follow-up and the second part of the conversation. So if you haven't watched the first part already, you can go to the link which is shown above, and also the link is in the description down below. So let's proceed with the conversation. Enjoy. Okay. So how secure a smart contract can become after being audited?
There is no guarantee. There are always vulnerabilities that the auditors miss because, it's still we're humans. It's still not ChatGPT that they can, it's not bots. We're not bots, and there is no guarantee that all their vulnerabilities will be found and fixed. Will be fixed. Also, there are some vulnerabilities that are being introduced later, not because of the code, but because of the state that is being updated on chain. But I would say that if you pick multiple parties, multiple entities to take a look at the smart contracts and audit them, you should be good as a protocol. But with that said, we saw also protocols like Euler Finance, for example, that were hacked, even though 5 different companies, I think, audited the code and they didn't find the vulnerability. That's why it's also recommended to have a bug bounty offering. So if someone finds a vulnerability, you will have an incentive to report it responsibly, in a responsible way, instead of exploiting it and stealing the money. And so it doesn't end there, And with that said, because we are so new, you don't have the whole stack of security like you have with Web2. With Web2, you have penetration testing, you have a monitoring team, SOC analyst, you have incident response team, you have malware analyst. You have all the stacks of all the life cycle of the cybersecurity operation. And Web3, we just have auditing. We still don't have good systems enough for on-chain monitoring. We do have here and there, you have Cybers, you have other companies that are trying to achieve the same goal, but it's still the beginning. That's the exciting part of it, and there is so much to create, so much to contribute, so much to develop on this exciting field.
Okay. So if I may ask, what is the most common vulnerability that you have found in any smart contract? So suppose the developer Patrick Collins is writing a smart contract. So what is the most common vulnerability that you can think of that he can have in his code, even like an expert basically?
So I assume that you referred to most high or critical severity vulnerability, right? Not like medium solo. So I would say that the most common one is vulnerabilities related to flash loans attacks, right? Because it's very hard once you write smart contracts and a developer to think about the whole ecosystem, how your smart contracts integrate with other protocols, with other smart contracts. And flash loans is something that is a bit hard to grasp, especially even for developers, because it's something very technical and it's a bit hard to understand. And a lot of developers do not know and do not understand how flash loans work. And even if they know, it's very hard to put all the different possibilities of how one can exploit your contract using flash loans and Oracle price manipulations. And we see so many flash loan attacks in a lot of DeFi protocols. It could be lending protocols, AMMs, options, all these kind of DeFi protocols. I would say the most common attack is flash loans.
Okay, that's great to know. And also
flash loans and price manipulation. Due to flash loans.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it is also is it also chain specific, or it can be done on any chain? The hack basically.
It's being done on any chain. The attackers, they constantly monitor all the chains, all the newly deployed protocols, and I'm sure there are teams unfortunately, there are black hat teams. It might be connected with mafia, or I don't know, just bad people that are just monitoring constantly different blockchains, different protocols, maybe even searching. I always have the malicious mindset, and I would say, what would I do if I was a black hat? Obviously, my whole goal and dedication is to secure the space and to white hat, but you always need to think like attacker's mindset. And if I would be an attacker, and let's say an organization, you have even the Koreans, these hacking groups that are hacking Web2. So I assume that a lot of them also shifted to Web3, and they're just sitting there, analyzing new protocols, analyzing forks of existing protocols on new chains, and just trying to find as many as opportunities to extract the most amount of value and exploit these protocols. So I'm quite sure that a lot of attacks that we see, black hat attacks, are hacking groups. It's not a single hacker. It's not a single hacker for investment, but it's more organized hacking groups with maybe even some kind of infrastructure and sponsors. It's not just the normal guy in the basement of his mouth. So it's taking the black hat side is getting to the next level, and we as white hat and cybersecurity Web3 industry needs to also take the next step, as I see it.
Yeah, I think the protocols are taking it for granted, still taking it for granted. But like, I want to ask, like, if you have come across any severity or like any vulnerability in any protocol and you reported that to them and it's like $1 million hack or something like that, like have you basically done that?
Yeah, so no, because my focus was towards first private audits in Ginger Security.
Okay.
If it's like EVM audits, and also we do Starknet and Cairo audits, which is also something very unique in the space. You don't have many companies that are doing Cairo smart contracts audit. And also I was trying in the last year to put all my efforts towards the course. I really spent so many months just preparing from scratch, lectures, exercises, recording, editing, planning the course, and I'm pretty happy with the result. And maybe later I will try to do some bug bounties of like on-chain deployed protocols. It could be fun, but I do have other priorities because I see that I can bring a lot of value to the space by education, because I love teaching, I love education, and I see that a lot of people can take this value. And I have a lot of things on my plate right now, on my on my to-do list, and one of them is also to start doing some bug bounties, and I will have to see how I can combine all those tasks together.
Okay. Like, have you worked with Patrick Collins yet?
We haven't worked together. We know each other. We had a conversation. Patrick is an amazing guy. His contribution to the Web3 space is really impressive. And I really appreciate both his expertise and his education skill. He also creates amazing content, very engaging. I love watching his videos. And he's doing something great, and I really appreciate those kinds of people. And we all together, trying to push the Web3 security space, if it's in terms of providing awesome auditing service and also educating people and basically creating the next army of white hat Web3 cyber security engineers. So it's amazing that we have that not only me, but there are other people that have the same goals, and it feels like we have the same task toward the same vision, and it's amazing.
Okay, yeah, that's like sounds really awesome. Like, you are like a team of Avengers.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, and it seems like there is a lot of positivity all over the space. You have a bunch of really good people with good intentions that really, from their heart, want to make the space much more secure. Everyone is in own way. If it's Patrick with like auditing and education, or me with auditing and education, if it's Pashov that is like really in such a short time, it's really impressive. I don't know if not many people know, but the first time I reached out to Pashov is when he had 2,000 followers on Twitter and just started with Code Arena. And I just reached out to him and asked him if he wanted to be interviewed on my channel. And since then, he improved so much. His calendar is fully booked with private audits. He has 11K followers on Twitter, and he's also contributing to the space on his own way. And by the way, he's very good also in education. I really love his guest lectures that he made, and I told him that. And he has also potential as a teacher. And so yeah, everyone is in own way. If it's trust, that is the GOAT, the best as auditing, kind of like C. Michel level. And he built his own auditing boutique brand where he provides audits to different protocols. So everyone contributes on his way, on his unique way. And it's very nice to see all these good people are pushing this industry forward and making this Web3 industry safer.
Yeah, yeah. I think like if there can be a way of like we can basically divide the categories like of the Web3 security also, like the way we did for Web2 based. I think it will be great like to be having like different expertise in different kinds of categories of the audits also. I think it will be great to have. And
Definitely,
yeah,
definitely. Yeah, it's gonna get there. It's just the beginning, It's gonna get there. Right now, you have smart contract auditor, but the more time passes, you will have an on-chain analyst. You have incident response. Someone that once there is attack, what do? You will have developers that create smart contract auditing tools. You will have all kinds of professions like you have in traditional cybersecurity. This is just the beginning.
okay. Yeah, so last but not the least, I would like to basically ask like if you want to give any advice or suggestion to the youngsters who are basically like building their own projects and want to do some startup in the field of Web3 and also who are looking forward to become smart contract auditor.
Yeah, definitely. So my first advice is don't be afraid, okay? It sounds a bit scary when you see all these exploits and trying to grasp all the vulnerabilities, but once you take the time and sit down and learn and play maybe some music on the background, whatever helps you focus, and just, once you have the right track, you can get there. You can understand how to write smart contracts, how to find vulnerabilities in smart contracts, how to exploit them, and eventually deliver value to the space as a smart contract security auditor. This would be my first tip. Another tip would be don't always stay on the fence. Don't always watch videos and read articles, but do. Learn by doing. I always believe by learning by doing, okay? So if you learn about reentrancy, it's not enough just to watch a video about reentrancy. Okay, take a look at a code that was exploited by reentrancy. Maybe create your own hardened or foundry project and write a contract that is vulnerable to reentrancy. Then maybe write another contract which exploits this contract that you just wrote. Everything should be together with doing, learn by doing, all right? And another tip that I would say is that also monitor your journey. It will help you both give you motivation, so if you, let's say you do a challenge or you post on Twitter, today I learned this, today I did that, or maybe write articles on LinkedIn, or maybe publish videos on YouTube, because it's a win-win. It's going to motivate you more to continue this journey. It's going to help you understand the materials better, because once you talk about something, you understand it much better. And you're also contributing back to the space by creating content, by helping others. And another huge advantage that it's going to give you is that this is your CV, People these days, they don't care about your degree or how many years you studied in the uni. Some of them do, but most of them care about your experience. So if in your next interview for a junior auditor in a company, if you can show a GitHub repo of all the CTF that you completed, or a write-up where you describe how you solve the CTF, or a YouTube video where you explain how reentrancy works and how to learn reentrancy, or Twitter account with followers and valuable content that you share, then your chances of being, better than your competitors are much higher. So, stay out of the crowd. Don't do what everyone does, but try to think how to do things a bit differently.
Yeah, I think like genius advice that you have given, and hopefully like we'll be seeing a lot of like smart contract auditors which have basically like which have taken your courses, like becoming like experts in their like respective industries, and in the protocols in which they are working they will just gain 5 stars there, rising stars. Okay, so I think like it's an amazing
Definitely.
conversation. It's an amazing conversation with you. Like if you want to like wrap up and also want to basically mention anything, you can feel free to do so.
That's basically it. So thank you so much. I really enjoyed the conversation. It was super interesting. Yeah, I would be happy if anyone wants to ask me any questions. I'm open to DMs, to questions, whatever you want to ask, really. If it's about the course, if it's about my experience as an auditor, or just questions about life, feel free really to comment to this interview, or just DM me either on Twitter or LinkedIn or YouTube. I'm available. And yeah, it was a pleasure.
Yeah, you are definitely a super helpful guy. I can definitely say that because you have seen my message and like basically accepted to come onto the interview. That's like really great of you. Like despite being busy in your schedule. you have given the like your valuable time. I really appreciate that, and thanks a lot for that. We'll definitely catch up soon. Yeah, hopefully.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.
So I hope you guys have enjoyed the video and get to know about Johnny and his amazing smart contract auditing skills, and also his vast knowledge in the cybersecurity space. So I'll be sharing his Twitter profile and his LinkedIn profile in the description down below, so you guys can definitely follow him, and also you guys can check the course that the guys are providing at Ginger Security. I'll be sharing the link of that in the description down below, so you can definitely check that out as well. So thanks for watching. See you soon in the next video.